A single Roman legion on the march represents roughly 5,000 heavily armed men moving as a single unit across the landscape. To maintain that force, the army requires 7,500 kilograms of grain every single day, just to meet basic caloric needs. But legions rarely operated in isolation. A standard army group of 4 legions pushes the daily requirement toward 30 tons of supplies. On unpaved dirt, a 30-ton supply train is at the mercy of the weather. A single afternoon of rain turns a trail into a quagmire, stalling the wagons and forcing the army to consume its own rations while sitting still. Rome's expansion was as much a triumph of civil engineering as it was a military one, providing a structural solution to this constant threat of starvation. This map shows a highway system that eventually spanned 120,000 kilometers. These were not built for civilian assets designed for the rapid movement of heavy infantry. To maximize speed, surveyors used the groma, a tool of weighted plumb lines, to drive paths that remained as straight as the physical terrain would allow. The construction followed a rigorous standard. Workers dug trenches to lay a heavy stone foundation, followed by a dense layer of broken rock. After adding fine concrete, engineers crowned the center. This convex curve forced water into drainage ditches, keeping the foundation stable. The final surface consisted of closely fitted stone slabs. This created a durable, weather-resistant platform capable of supporting heavy cart traffic for decades. The legions themselves provided the workforce. Commanders argued that constant labor prevented the indiscipline of idleness, keeping soldiers occupied with paving between campaigns. In times of peace, the Roman army functioned as the ancient world's largest and most disciplined civil engineering corps. On campaign, each legionary shouldered 25 kilograms of personal gear, armor, weapons, and entrenching tools. These Marius's mules were expected to cover up to 25 miles in a single day. To supplement what the men carried, a multi-kilometer baggage train of mules and ox wagons followed the paved roads, carrying the bulk supplies required for a long-term siege or winter quarters. To feed this train, the empire maintained horrea, massive state-run granaries like the one pictured here, at strategic nodes along the highway network. Managing these depots required a sophisticated administration. The camp prefect and his staff oversaw a constant flow of requisitions and contracts to ensure the silos remained full. We have the physical records of this bureaucracy. These ink tablets from the Vindolanda fort preserve the daily reality of the army: requests for grain, notes on wine quality, and shipments of replacement boots. This same paved network supported the cursus publicus, a relay-based imperial post that could carry an urgent dispatch across the continent in about a week. The stone network only functioned because of the administration behind it. Without the constant flow of paperwork coordinating every sack of grain, the roads were merely empty corridors. The roads created a massive disparity in speed. Roman armies could march the length of Italy to meet an invasion or crush a rebellion weeks faster than any rival force relying on natural terrain. Aggressive campaigns, such as Trajan's move into Dacia, relied on these engineered corridors. This stone pier is the remains of a bridge over a kilometer long, built specifically to move an army across the Danube. The consequences of leaving this system were demonstrated in 9 AD. General Varus marched 3 legions away from the Rhine roads and into the dense Teutoburg forest. Without paved surfaces, the heavy baggage train became an anchor. Carts sank into the mud, the column lost its momentum, and the army was trapped in an environment it could not navigate. Without the ability to regroup or retreat along a secure line, the 3 legions were surrounded and destroyed, leaving the frontier undefended for the first time in generations. A Roman army stripped of its engineered infrastructure was no longer the dominant force it had been on the paved roads of Gaul. These supply routes outlived the empire. Medieval pilgrims and modern European highways still follow the exact alignments laid down by the legions 2 millennia ago. History often focuses on the generals in marble reliefs, but the empire's survival rested on the clerks at Vindolanda counting grain and the soldiers sweating over the basalt foundations. Rome's ultimate legacy is a lesson in the reality of conflict. The side that moves the fastest and supplies its forces the most reliably is the one that becomes inevitable.